friends, welcome to my second episode ever of Talk Tea with Dee. Thank you guys for joining me. So today it's Friday. It's mid-May. So here in New Jersey, it's rainy, dreary, but still crisp, not freezing cold, not boiling hot. So it's kind of lovely. This week, I will talk a little bit about what I find interesting. Of course, I've had to tune into Secret Lives of Mormon Wives only because I run a fan page on Instagram and everyone's watching it. So I did watch the first season and was not a huge fan of these girls. I just felt like it was a little too produced. But I have to say, episode 1, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, you guys got me. You got me. I'm in. I want to hear all about it. First of all, I have to say, I'm not believing in any way, shape, or form that these people had orgies and didn't have sex. So right there, you lost me when you tell me that there was just kissing. I mean, you're a married person, you're in your 20s, you're gorgeous, you're with a bunch of other married people in their 20s who are gorgeous. You're at like some sort of a sex party when you're not having sex. Come on. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that all these people had sex with each other, which makes the show even better for me. I understand they can't say it because of the Mormon Church, but I'm into the idea that all these people had sex and now we're just watching them pick up the pieces, which, come on, an amazing premise for a reality show. So I'm all in for season 2 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, even though last season I poo-pooed it and said these girls are all faking and acting. I've changed my mind. I'm obsessed. So that's my new trashy TV. The studio this week, they had an episode on Apple TV. The episode was, I actually really hate model episodes where people do drugs on TV shows, because I kind of feel like, remember they had it on Mad Men where they were all on LSD? I feel like it's almost like a lazy writing technique to put them all on drugs, because then, they're not always on drugs. It's just this one episode. I feel like it's just an excuse to let the characters act wild. However, I will say that I did mushrooms once and went to a Hollywood party, and it was one of the worst experiences of my Hollywood life because somebody put mushrooms on our pizza. We were meeting up. We were all going to go to a bar. It was a big Hollywood gathering. They had those all the time. And I ate a piece of pizza with magic mushrooms. We used to call them magic mushrooms on it. And I had only done mushrooms one other time in my life when I was a freshman in college with my friend, Brandy. We went and did them. And I think I ate like one mushroom and it was amazing. We had the most wonderful night all over New York City, going to different bars and just laughing. I remember we met this kid in a diner. This is like 4 hours into our trip. And he kept saying wildness, like this was the wildness and it's the wildness. I have no idea why he was saying that, but I just remember on mushrooms thinking that was the absolute funniest phrase I ever heard in my life. He would say, "Oh, how are you girls out in New York City tonight? The wildness." I was like, "You're hilarious." So this week's episode of the studio, they also do mushrooms, but Seth Rogen's character mixes up microdosing. He mixes up the dosage, and they end up giving Zoe Kravitz too many mushrooms. She eats like 5 of them and ends up being on like 21 grams of mushrooms. I did 1 gram when I was in college. And then when I went to the Hollywood party, I ate a slice of pizza and they had put mushrooms on it. So I have no idea how many. Now thinking back and watching this episode, I'm realizing maybe I ate like 5 grams of mushrooms. I don't know how much was on a slice of pizza. It was a lot. So I went to this party and I saw all these people that I work with and from other studios and other production companies, and I hid behind a chair because I was so sure everyone would know I was on mushrooms. And then I went back to my house with my friend who worked for Ben Stiller, and he kept telling me, "You have to just go with it. You have to ride it." Just like Dave Franco was saying in this week's episode of the studio, he was telling everyone, "You have to ride with it." And of course, we had Walter White himself, Bryan Cranston, playing some bigwig who does so many mushrooms that he's trips all over Vegas. That was hilarious. I mean, Vegas is a big part of working in Hollywood. You go to Vegas. I went to Vegas once with Vince Vaughn's second assistant, who like knew the movie Swingers by heart. So the whole time we were there, he was like, "Vegas, baby, Vegas, baby." So I kind of felt like that. And then I remember my brother used to gamble a lot, and he used to always get us free rooms in Vegas. And I mean, that's a big part. So The Vegas part, I didn't mind. It was fun. The drugs part, I mean, it's all part of Hollywood. But in terms of the through line of the show, it kind of annoyed me because I just wanted to get on with like the real life stuff. I mean, Amazon buying them, I guess that is kind of realistic to what's happening in Hollywood right now. But it was a two-parter. So, and I actually thought it got very funny at the end. My favorite line of the whole show was when somebody was talking about somebody was talking about some kind of food or something, and someone said, "Oh, I'll split that with you." And I thought that was a funny line, but I don't know. It wasn't my favorite episode of the studio, probably my least favorite this season, but every single episode has been hilarious. And there's always something in every episode that I can relate to. So it's still my favorite show on right now. And other things I'm watching, of course, Summer House on Bravo, which I'm going to say had an amazing week. I love this week. I loved all the stuff about Lexi breaking up with Jesse on the balcony and Paige coming in and saying, did they break up in this kitchen? And of course, Jesse and West on Watch Happens Live making all the girls upset at how they kind of seemed like they thought it was funny to break girls' hearts. And I didn't love that, but I'm still loving West, to be honest. He didn't lose me. I still have a major crush on West. He seems like a boy that I would have dated back in the day because he's super smart and funny and also a bad boy. So you know to stay away from him. So I would have been all over West. As a matter of fact, there's a guy that I was so in love with in Hollywood that reminds me so much of West. Not that hot, dresses kind of crazy, kind of funky hair, but was super funny, super witty. And also when you pursue a guy like West, and I think Ciara probably had this feeling, when you're with a guy like West and you think that you're kind of better looking than he is, you put your guard down. You think like, this guy is obsessed with me. This is going to be the best relationship ever because I'm lowering my standards. And then to have him break your heart, it's hard. It's a hard ego trip when somebody that not amazing looking, that's kind of schlubby, dresses a little sloppy. And then you have Ciara, who is a literal supermodel, coming in and saying, you know what, I'll give this guy a chance. He's funny. And then to have him break her heart, that was sad. And you can tell from this week's episode and all the episodes that Ciara is still hurt about it. So that makes me sad. We've all had that one guy that we dated for a few months that really got to us. And then when it didn't work out, it hurts for a long time. So that's Summer House. And the only other show really that's worth watching right now on Bravo, if you ask me, is The Valley, which is a bunch of train wrecks, a bunch of terrible, horrible people that live in the Valley that treat each other terribly. And it's making amazing reality television. So I've been watching The Valley, hate watching it only because I feel like I wish there was one person on the show that seemed like the moral compass of the show, somebody that's like a good person that would not ever do anything to hurt anyone. I'm not sure they have that on the show. I mean, there's people I like more than others, but I'm pretty sure the show is filled with a bunch of terrible people. And I'm watching it, but I'm feeling sad a lot of the time. Like I wish these people, because some of them are parents and they're old enough to know better. And I don't know, but The Valley's still compelling television, so I'm still tuning in. Other than that, there was a book that came out a few years ago called The Idea of You, written by the lovely Robinne Lee, that got made into a movie with Anne Hathaway on Netflix. And I am going to have her join me from Paris. She moved to Paris 3 years ago from Los Angeles with her husband and her kids because she was just tired of living in America and wanted to live there. And I'm obsessed with this idea of just moving to Paris. You can do it, I guess. Apparently, she's having an amazing time there. So we all don't have to live here if we don't want to. And that's the lesson with my next guest. So I'm going to bring her in now. And I hope you guys have a great Friday. And here is the lovely Robinne Lee. Hello. So my guest today, her name is Robinne Lee. Hi, Robinne. She's
Hello, Thea. How are you?
coming to us from Paris, France, where she moved to. She's an expat. I'm so jealous.
It's a pretty good life. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very happy here.
Right. So Robinne left. How many years have you been there now?
It'll be 3 in July 1st will be 3 years.
3 years you've been there. And what? I mean, you regret it? You miss America? Nothing.
I don't miss America at all. I mean, I miss my people. I miss my friends. I miss my family. Every once in a while, there's like, the convenience of of communicating in your maternal lung, your maternal tongue. Sorry, I was thinking in French, like maternal lung and tongue, whatever. I miss that. But other than that, no, I do not miss France at all. France, America. Oh my God. I have a gazillion things going on in my head right now. This is the busiest week of my life.
I speak a little French, so we could just, transition right over to
No, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I have a lot going on, so I'm a little distracted. But I do not miss America in the way that, I mean, I don't think I thought I was going to miss it. I miss it, I miss, like I said, my people. I miss my
Right.
people.
Like I go to Portugal every August and I'm obsessed with the food there.
Right.
I'm obsessed with Europeans and the way they take all the crap out of their food. I'm obsessed with the fact that I can eat whatever I want and still be skinny the whole month
Yeah.
that I'm there. I come
I
home.
eat
I have
bread,
not gained a
I
pound.
worry. Yeah. I
It's
eat
crazy.
steak. I eat
Okay, so for
fries.
those of you who don't know Robin, I don't know who doesn't know you at this point. What did 700 million people watch your movie on Netflix?
Please don't say that. It's really scary.
Robin wrote this amazing book, The Idea of You, which look at my copy, Robin.
I see that. I
It's
like
like
it. I like the
it's hard
battered.
to see with this filter, but it's all dog-eared.
Yeah, I love that. That's good.
So Robin, I met Robin, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say how many years ago? Probably 10 years ago, I would say.
More. I would
It
say
was a
even more.
long time ago in LA. This is what's amazing about LA, you guys. Like a friend will say, I'm having a little get together, come by, and then you'll meet like 20 of the most interesting people you've ever met in your
Yeah.
life. And I just had drinks when I was in LA with Will and Kelly. Remember them from the annual party?
Will and Kelly. I need a last name.
So Will Pyler and Kelly McCabe were just they're amazing. He's a producer. She's a right actually has a real job, but she wrote some Lifetime movies and they came. But the point is, our friends Dave and Kichi have an annual get together, and you can
Yeah.
go to this thing and meet amazing creative
Yeah.
actors, writers, producers. So I met Robin there, and
Dave and Keith are some of our first friends when we first moved to LA. I was put on a panel. Dave was moderating the Yale alum thing, 2003, maybe. I mean, we didn't have babies. We didn't have like we were like both respective newlywed. Like it was, yeah. We
so did Dave go to
built a
Yale?
same
Did
time.
Dave go to Yale or no? I
He
thought
did.
for some
He
reason I
did.
thought you knew him from college, but you didn't know him from there.
I didn't. We were at Yale. No, we were at Yale together. I went to Yale undergrad.
Right.
So we'd like overlapped, but I did not know him there. And
Oh, so ever since I met you at Dave's house, I just assumed you knew him from Yale.
yeah.
So Robin went to Yale and has acted in many, many, many movies, TV shows, but now you're an author.
I am.
And I was privileged to read this book before anyone else, for a lot of people, because you
Yeah.
sent it to me in manuscript form and you were looking to have me send it to my agent, but then you got my agent anyways without me. Remember? You're like, never mind, someone else sent it and she signed me, and the book's amazing.
It was yeah, it all happened very quickly. It's a bit of a blur now. It was a really exciting time in my life and like I don't know, it's like you for for writers, I think it's kind of like the dream to be published. And all my life I thought, oh, one day I'd love that. I'd love for that to happen one day. And each one of us has like a manuscript sitting in a drawer that like we thought was going to be the first one, and everyone said no. And so when you put the second one out there, you're like, I really hope someone likes it, and people seem to love it. And so it
A,
was,
a lot of people
yeah,
loved.
and it goes very quickly from being like just like your little idea, your baby that like lives in your head and in your heart for months on end while you're writing. It's just you and your laptop and anyone who will listen to you talk about it. But not the world at large. And then suddenly it becomes part of this larger thing, and you kind of lose control of like who sees it, who doesn't see it, how they're viewing it, because you're not in conversation with them. It's not like your writers group where you can workshop it and you can explain what's going on if someone misunderstood something. And so like it's a world, and it's really
Well,
bizarre.
this is what's so intimidating about writing, because
Totally.
these words are immortalized. The second you send that thing off, and then especially your book, because it became such a popular movie, it's like, forget it. Like every single word you wrote. And now people, of course, are waiting to see what you do next. And I know you're working on something. So what can you tell us about your next book?
I'm finishing up my next book. I've been saying that for a while now. I've been finishing it for a while now, but I really hope I'm finishing.
Welcome to the life of a writer. Like your house has
yeah.
never been cleaner. Your errands are all
No.
run.
But like I'm doing edits for my publisher. It's not like, oh, someone will see. I mean, I'm really, really finishing getting it to this will be one of the last drafts I'm doing so before it goes to print.
Okay, so
So
what can you tell us? So it's not a sequel. I know that.
not a sequel. It is, oh goodness. I'm so bad at pitching this and not giving things away that maybe people don't
Right.
want to give away just yet. It's a story. It's a story about a woman. It's oh, I can't, it's not relationships. It's about a married woman who ah, she's an artist. She is smart and curious about the world. Uh and she encounters someone who kind of like upends her life. How about that?
Ah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There's 17 things that you just said that I'm obsessed with. So it's perfect. Art and being married and men that upend your life. And obviously that was part of the appeal of the first one, of course, is that all of us were kind of living vicariously through Solange at the time.
It's like, so we'll see. We'll see. I hope it has the same response. I mean, it's a very different, it's a different book. It's not, um, it's definitely, it's not a romance, but the idea of you wasn't a romance either. It's not, I wouldn't even pitch it as a love story. I think it's more of a woman's exploration of self.
Right.
Venture.
Well, you have at this point now a pretty solidified fan base who will read anything you write. So that must be a little bit intimidating, but also
Yes, it's like it's
relieving.
wonderful to have them, but then also it's a responsibility. Like I don't want to disappoint anyone. I don't want them, to be like, well, this is too much of a departure. I can't understand this, or I don't, So I'm trying to like bring in threads of the idea of you. So I feel like readers of the idea of you will find something to appreciate, but it's a different story and it'll bring in new readers and new fans. I hope. That's the
Well,
goal.
trust me as a friend, but also a fan. I can tell you that anything you write, we're all going to love. I already know this just from knowing you, who you are as a person, knowing
Oh,
what goes on. So I
thank
really think
you.
that I'm so excited. So what is the timeline? Do they have one or not at all?
2026. I don't have a release date exactly yet. I'm thinking somewhere first half of 2026. We'll see.
That's so soon. That's so soon.
Maybe it could be the second half. They could push it. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not,
And,
I'm super nervous.
and now what else? Do you have
Nervous.
anything else or is
I've
it
been
enough
talking
that
about
you have a whole nother novel or do you have other things you're working on? Are you acting or anything?
I've got the next book idea kind of um ready to go. Uh that I've like put down and picked up and put down and picked up, and then I will pick up 100% once this one is like off to the printer. Um I've got a couple of other projects in the work. Yeah, I'm not acting on anything right now. Um but we'll see. That's also, that acting requires me going back to the States and shooting, which is great. I love it. But I've been so focused on getting this book to a place where it's ready for the world that that's kind of been my priority.
Okay,
So
that's enough. It's enough that you're putting out your second book. I shouldn't have even asked that. Like that is enough. And your mom and your wife, and you live in Paris. I mean, I wouldn't do anything if I lived in Paris.
I know.
I would look out my window, eat a baguette, drink wine, and that would be my life. And people would say,
You could
"What are you
easily
doing
just
with your
do
life?"
that. And you're like, oh,
You're
I'm just
living in Paris.
I don't need to do anything. I'm just like,
I saw Robin in Paris a few years ago. They had a premiere of a movie that
yes, it did.
right.
2 years ago. It was November 2022, October.
Yeah, right. So 3 years ago, I went to Paris. I invited Robin to the premiere of the little movie that the little French girl wrote.
So good though. It was great.
And your husband came and he was so sick in his scarf, and I felt so bad for him. And he sat through this movie that was 100% in French with no
So you understood an
subtitles.
awful lot because I think if you understand the topic of what you're seeing, I mean, his French is much better now. He would get more from it, but he understood enough that, yeah, I mean, I understood your entire movie.
I'm not fluent at all. I took French, high school and college, and I can get by, and I
Yeah,
understand from,
yeah,
and also when I'm in Portugal, I can understand 80% of what they're saying, and I can't speak Portuguese very well at all. French is
there
much
you go.
easier
It's
pronunciation wise for me.
right, right.
Being from Massachusetts and opening my mouth really wide when I speak, and I go to Portugal, and everything is in the back of their throat. They're zhuzhing every word
Yeah,
and
yeah,
rolling
yeah.
every R, and I'm like, I'm lost.
That's how for years it's how like how I knew it was Portuguese. Like if something sounds like it sounds Spanish, but not Italian. And it's but if it sounds like shush kush 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 kush, to me that was always the sound. If I hear a kush kush sound, it's like, oh, that's Portuguese.
And
I
the
don't
thing is,
know why.
I understand so much because I did many years of Latin, so I know all the roots. I did many years of French, so a lot of the words are the same, but
Right.
speaking it is
It's a
just
different
grueling.
thing. Oh
And I
yeah, I
love it.
years of French, I did years of Italian. I can't speak Spanish. I've lived in like most of my life is in either New York or LA. I should know how to speak Spanish. I understand so much of being what's said to me. And I open my mouth and, and I'm like, I don't speak this
And
language.
the thing is,
I'm
I
speaking
could, but
Italian to you right now.
my problem, and I'm sure this doesn't happen to you when you're in Paris, but for me, I'm just embarrassed to speak it because I know I'm mangling every single word.
Absolutely.
I could
Absolutely.
sit there, and I have, when I've gone to Portugal by myself, I talk to everyone in Portuguese. I love it. I sound ridiculous, but it's when I'm with people like my husband, his family, and they just start hysterically laughing every time I open my mouth. I'm like, never mind. I'm not saying a word. Like, and I can 100% get by with Portuguese. French, I don't feel the same way. I feel like I can pronounce it. I'm very happy to go there and speak it, but I don't
Um,
know. It's intimidating, right? Like you're walking
I went to
around.
Japan for the first time last month, and I've been doing it. I've been studying on Duolingo since January. So I kind of felt like, okay, I've got my words. I know what I'm saying. And I'm not that bad saying them because Japanese pronunciation is kind of like it's a little like what you see is what you get. You know all the consonants, like it's a bunch of different consonants that you're putting together, right? So it's like things like shiroi, like you know it if you've watched any Japanese films or you've listened to Japanese people speak, you get the rhythm and whatever. It's
Right.
not something to me. It's if I were to really study it, it would be easier than something like French, where the letters don't sound like they are written because, and
Right.
because I'm learning it, I'm looking at the characters in Japanese. Like I'm like the characters sound. I know. It's more complicated, obviously, because it's different characters. But the actual consonants that are coming out of your mouth are things most that most Americans can say, with the exception of like the way their R works, sort of.
No, that's so true. Phonetically, we're fine. Whereas in Portugal, they have this like AO thing that like you say
Right.
in the back of your throat, and I am Portimao, like you swallow the word. And
Yeah.
I have tried. My husband's grandma and I sat for like an hour one day. She said it, I said it, she said it, I said it. I never got it. But
Yeah.
I feel like you're right. Japanese, like 99% of it.
Always the R, like the Japanese R, the French R, the Italian R, the Spanish R, they're all different R's.
Oh, it's very intimidating. Well, I'm so excited about your book coming out. I hope I can come to Paris and just hang out with you sometime.
I
I'm
would love to have you here.
maybe we could just like go for a walk and talk about. I'm actually writing a novel as well, but it's going to take me like 14 years to have the guts to give it to anyone.
Do it. Don't worry about guts. We don't, just do it. Do it. I mean, if I thought twice about what my book might
You would
be like
never.
out in the world, I would never have published it.
It's just that I'm a perfectionist. Like I want every word to be
Oh, me too. You could,
amazing, beautiful, profound, life
yep,
changing. I
yep.
don't want one throwaway sentence. So I am laboring over these things. Like it's just
I
ridiculous.
labor over words like you can't imagine. Is it rapidly, quickly? No, fat. Like maybe none of. Maybe I should speed. No, like every single thing is like that.
Right. And
Every.
I'm at night, I'm literally saying lines from my book in my head over and
Yep.
over and over. And then I wake up and like immediately have to change. And one day I'm just going to stop, hand it in, give it to my
Right.
agent. And then
And
hopefully it'll
I have
become,
yeah.
hopefully it'll be a movie on Netflix that has 700 million
There you
viewers.
go. When the idea of you came out, I swear I knew it by heart. Like,
Right.
and to this day, like if someone re um I have like fan groups for my book, and a lot of times people will cut and paste a section like a of the book, the story, and I know it. I can tell when they've actually cut and pasted the actual section, or they've tried to transcribe it and made an error.
Right.
Like one little word we off, I'm like,
That
I
close.
like that. Like I'm hoping that is what keeps me from the
It's sick. It's sick being
From
an
what
author.
separates me from AI, like I can tell when it's me and when it's not me, even though it's close to me. It's like
It's sick
I
being
would
an
never
author. What you're creating, how much it lives after you, and how much it can change. And just watching a
oh
movie version of it, I imagine, is so.
it, yeah, it's not
I can't.
it's something completely different. It's something completely different in other people's
You're
hands
like, that
and
movie was
like
amazing, but I didn't write that. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just kidding. All right, Robin, it was so nice to talk to you. Thank
good
you
to
so
talk
much
to
for
you
doing
too.
my
Thank you for
podcast, and
having
I
me.
will talk to you soon. Have fun tonight on your beautiful, glamorous Friday night in Paris. I'm
Thank you.
jealous.
Thank you. It's really, it's like a 10th grade cocktail party. So it's not, but it's a fun bunch. So yes, it'll be glamorous.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Robin. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.